Welcome back, everyone. We're gonna. Oh, that's not the place I wanted it to be, actually. Whoops, and that's now gonna leave a black mark forever on my.
Ready? Go!
Toggle zero gravity. That's gonna leave a black mark forever on my high score table, unfortunately. Yep, look at that. 275 deaths. Wow.
Thanks for playing.
We're gonna have to do a bit better than that for this. But yes, what I want to do is instead blitz mode, so I can cheat at everything, just so we can see those levels. The point isn't even to unlock them properly or anything. It's just to get to see what this game has to offer. Things that I, in theory, would probably be able to unlock if I really wanted. But never did. Their camera. Can't move upwards. Come on. And I don't think I ever had a hard time moving upwards here. There we go. Okay, so you have to move right to move upwards, I guess. And moving to the left moves a bit more downwards, unless you're too high already. In which case, you have a problem. Goodbye. Gonna see the world. Can't stop me now.
Ready? Go!
Yeah, no, we need to be careful about how many dust we can right here, certainly. Up the camera up. That's the bigger problem here. No, we have a lot of levels to get through, so we don't want to waste too much time on this.
Ready? Go! Go!
We want to do stuff like that when we can, because these are 50 levels.
Ready?
And in some cases we can be clever and skip stages by doing stuff like this. And by that, by some cases, I mean like in one case. You can't do that very often. Ready to be smarter than that. Let's see if we can land a bit more gently than that. Okay, this is not good. We gotta be careful on stages like this one. There we go. How many stages have we completed here? That's 5 on stage 8. 3 deaths so far. That's acceptable so far, I think. We need to average, I think, 1 death per level. I think we need to get fewer than 50 deaths.
Ready? Go!
Here's a different way of playing this level. This is made for blitz mode would be an interesting one, maybe.
Ready?
And then you do stupid stuff like that. Jeez. There we go.
Ready? Go!
No, thank you, game. I've had enough of this level.
Ready?
I don't think I get this in the first try necessarily. I mean, I just didn't, but what I mean is... Even if it's not arbitrarily easy, I can still do that. This would... Honestly, I think this would be the hardest sub-levels to unlock the awkward stages on.
Ready? Go!
It's really long, and it has some really difficult stages as well, like the clock hands and perihelion and stuff like that, as opposed to the shorter, much shorter champion stages. Yeah, individually are pretty rough, although some of them I was able to get through without too much issue, at least once I figured them out. Only one I never figured out was balance. And somehow I managed to do it on the first try. I insist that was kind of a fluke. Me getting it on the first try on that recording, where I actually managed to unlock the bonus stages for champion. drop on in.
Ready, go!
You're fairly comfortable with controlling this flight, too. You still don't have much control of yourself while you're...
Ready, go!
Oh, not platinum. Oh well. But, if you can just work out the timing for enabling and disabling it, you can control your arc pretty well. Movement, direction, and all that.
Ready, go!
We're making good progress, though. We're almost halfway through here.
Ready, go!
Something feels kind of cool about just flying through space this way. Ooh, except that means you have to be very careful about how you are very, very slow to change your direction on here. It's good to do oftentimes is actually let go if you can of anti-gravity. To regain some control. There's bronze, unfortunately, but whatever.
Ready, go!
It does feel kind of cool, like traversing large lengths with anti-gravity because you're just flying. Gables!
Ready, go!
I have no patience for you anymore, Gables. I move beyond you. You have nothing on me now.
Ready, go!
Also, I probably don't even need the anti-gravity for this one. Yeah, that was too slow for platinum.
Ready, go!
Hopefully it's at least somewhat amusing to see me fly through all these stages.
Ready, go!
And like I was saying last episode, it's, if nothing else, kind of a cool recap of everything there is in this game. Like, there's a lot in this game. You can see here. There's a lot to this game that's really cool. I think I've said this before, I don't plan on doing any of the DLC. So it's gonna be a little bit awkward, actually. See if we can do something more like bouncing off of that. Just want to get ourselves some height, because we're gonna need to control ourselves pretty well here, actually. Go. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't plan on getting in the DLC, I don't think. Although I expect I would probably enjoy it. I think we've got pretty much everything we wanted here out of Paperball. About it. I'm impressed by the game, I've enjoyed it. And it's very good at being a Monkey Ball clone, but I think it fixes a lot of the things that were my reasons for not just playing Monkey Ball. Oh, jeez. Because one question, of course, is whenever you make something that's so heavily imitating another game, be it a spiritual successor or whatever kind of relationship, the question is always, well, why wouldn't you just play the original outside of just wishing you could have more of the original game? And there are a few different answers you might come up with. You could basically just go up slopes of whatever inclination there with anti-gravity. That's nice.
Ready, go!
Long jump. Yeah, you need to be real careful about that. You need to be really careful about being fast while in anti-gravity. I think here what I want to do is just drop in like that. There we go. But the game gives you an option to take things nice and slow and just kind of keep trying again and again with no penalty. And also, if you do want the more classic Monkey Ball experience, does let you go through things like in order with lives and all that stuff like we're doing now. And you can see some extra stages that way and stuff like that, which is not my thing, but I'm also glad that in that case I can actually do what I'm doing now. And equipped with abilities I've earned through accomplishing some very difficult things, I've actually gained the ability to trivialize at least just seeing what those other levels are, so I can at least access the content. Because, at least from a Let's Play perspective, that's one of the more important things to me. Like, I play games to show them off, to try to enjoy them myself too, of course. Ah! What I always wanted to do there. That lens flare, jeez.
Ready, go!
The lens flare in the sky is really crazy. The game's pretty. I let Coco what little there is of her in the game.
Ready,
Because she doesn't really do much or anything, but she and maybe she shouldn't, I don't know. The game has character to it, I like the premise. Like, it has a premise. I kept talking about with Code why I liked it so much and what I was looking for in another game was what I call character. Or flavor. I think it's flavor. I think flavor is usually the word I would use. Where it's not just like, hey, it's a game about marbles where you do things with marbles. No, like there's more than that. It has maybe have a setting or at least some cute appearances and things like that. And some nice music and all those things. And this game has that. I might actually do this one legitimately, I'm not sure. I'd be kind of awkward otherwise. Platinum time here, that was really, really exacting. I know it's when it's really thin at the end, of course, but there you go. See, I can still play things legitimately. There's a little bit. There's something for everyone in this level, I think, in this game. Aha! I can still cheat and win. That's something I can appreciate a lot, though. That I think pretty much anyone who likes a monkey ball-esque game or marble game of some sort will find something to enjoy here. Oh!
ready, go!
Which I think is really good. I'm pulling back, I'm pulling back. I'm trying. We can be slow and careful here if we have to be. There we go. I forgot about this place. You have a cool combination of environments, lots of them. Even though I still get kind of weirded out by them being switched around from time to time. Cool music, cool places, cool backgrounds that I would say the backdrops in this game are somewhere for me between the two Code Vein games. Definitely a lot better than the ones you saw in Marble Saga. But Marble Mania I think still had a little bit more stuff going on in them, and a little bit more character to them. Ooh. Ah. Gotta be real careful with these things. I don't have that many stages left, but even so. Yeah, that is how you take advantage of the anti-gravity.
Ready, go!
You have nothing on me now, Baskets. Boom. No more Gables 2.0. So you have a cute mascot, you have a premise. Not like a story, which I now realize you don't need. Interesting, I know some of the Monkey Ball games had a story. I don't know what those are like or how much anyone liked them or anything. I feel like I shouldn't skip the Takeshi's Castle level, but oh well. And you get a nice comfortable environment for taking on some real serious challenges, which is one of the things that I was looking for in this game. That's one of the things that I most loved about Code Rimpa, especially in Marble Saga. It got hard, it got tough, and yet the game let you just sit down, take your time, and keep going. Well, that's one of the things I was afraid of with Monkey Ball, where I thought it would become a bit too stressful having to worry about how many lives I have and the time limit and things like that. There's this game. And then Marble Saga. No, you just go at your own pace.
Ready, go!
It's not that it's not difficult or anything like Monkey Ball could be insanely difficult. It's that it's an ideal environment
Ready, go!
for doing those difficult things.
Ready,
I probably shouldn't have reset there, but whatever. There you go. Now let's see those bonus stages. The last of the stages in this game. I'm happy to be able to say that I got to see pretty much everything. Not that I necessarily completed all of its challenges, but I completed the most difficult ones at least. I'm completing every level legitimately at least once, as well as this is really big. Not quite. I get the idea though, I think. Is there any reason to go back here? No, I don't think so. Looks like on the map there's nothing below. You won't survive at least if you do that, I don't think. All the things I've said about the diagonal movement tech, that still applies. I still have very mixed feelings on that, but that aside, it's really hard to keep moving straight with the camera moving around like that. Ugh. I do still miss having different marbles with different unlockable marbles. I wish you could have unlockable skins here just to have I like cosmetic rewards personally at least. But also I really like that you had here we go. That's the way to do it. Oh. What's that do here?
ready,
That is
go!
weird. But I really like that you had different marbles, different stats you could use in the Marble Saga games, or not Marble Saga specifically, but in the Corvita games. I think that's something that this game could have benefited from a lot. Even Monkey Ball games had different characters with different, at least sizes. I don't know if they had other differences in stats. I think having a strategic element to which marble you use is nice. I realize that some might think, now you should be able to always be on even footing between everyone and using the same marble or Paperball. But and you get to choose, so I don't think that's really a problem. I somehow just now realized that platforms that move usually have a different appearance than ones that don't, which is kind of nice. You can tell if something's going to move or not, usually. Diagonal movement, because we have to be fast. Ooh. Yeah, this game changed a lot for me once I figured out that you could move diagonally to be faster. I would have to do some thinking as to why this is the case. I don't think this game's going to stay with me the same way and for the same amount of time that Marble Saga did, or even the original Quarantine, but for a few reasons. One, it's not surprising or new. It's simply doing something that I've seen before very well, which tends to be less memorable, I think. And then beyond that, ooh,
Ready, go!
I think there's the fact that I've just spent a lot less time with it. I think that's a big influence as well.
Ready, go!
Look how attached I get doing things like that. Like, I have kind of a personal history with the two Quarantine games. Especially my big tale of having made a lot of effort many years before to complete the hard mode in that game, and then kind of having come back many years later and doing so. That I really enjoyed about Marble Saga in my hard mode playthrough. And that was the hard playthrough that inspired me to do this and made me say, hey, I want more difficult stuff. Because I trust now that I can actually do it. And that isn't something I think this game really would have had much opportunity to recreate, since it's Ooh, yeah, that's
Ready?
since it is something I'm just playing for a couple months at most, and then I'm pretty much done with. Unless I one day decide to come back to the DLC, which I don't think I will. I think I've gone pretty much everything I will get out of this game. Oh, I didn't realize the idea was I need to get this in there. I wasn't paying much attention. That changes things a bit. Oops.
Ready? Go! Ready?
I don't see that cat because of all the moving platforms. There we go. It's kind of interesting when you need to use that good height. But this game does challenge you, and it lets you challenge yourself kind of as much as you want for the most part. Of course, there's the gradual increase of difficulty for metal levels and or the arcade levels, which at one point diverged, which I think is interesting. Okay, so I guess the idea is that you cannot just run straight up here, even though it looks like you can. The idea is, I guess you have to go around the long way there.
Ready? Go!
Oh. So this uses the fact that you can bounce, I guess, from little bumps. I see you get so... Part of why I like on having so many levels here is you see so many different creative exploits of the game's engine. Darn it.
Ready? Go!
Which I really enjoy.
Ready?
I feel like this game, that's one of the reasons I think that I'm not that interested in the DLC, because I think the base game, I could be wrong, maybe the DLC does come with more stuff, but I feel like the base game already exploits nearly everything there is to exploit about the game engine, which is a lot. It's a lot of cool stuff that they're doing here. And I like that they're willing to do things that are kind of ridiculous looking or crazy, difficult or whatever, if you're willing to put up with the challenge of trying to complete those levels. Which I am, so I get to have fun with them, that creativity. A little slow this time around, please.
Ready? Go!
And there being levels that are locked behind, not dying, that bums me out a little bit, since that's a way of unlocking things I don't much enjoy. And there being levels that are basically only arcade mode, although I do think it makes sense to kind of optimize a level for arcade mode, that being not dying, or for doing quickly for metal mode. So I don't think it's that weird that they diverged at one point. But I do kind of wish there was an alternate method for unlocking things. So you could see the whole game without having to use methods that I don't enjoy. But, I mean, in the end, I ended up unlocking through having to play along with the whole arcade mode, not dying things at one point. Through having to do that a little bit on the last set of levels, I was able to... Oh, I should have paid attention to the name of the level. They're inclined lifts. Oops.
Ready? Go!
But by having used something that I unlocked, by having played along with the arcade mode thing for a little bit, I was able to... Oh man, we have a lot of these lifts. Ah!
Ready?
Close.
Go!
I was able to, without much difficulty, actually end up going through all of these. I still got to see everything else. I do like that you can actually unlock some gameplay stuff. That is interesting. I'm not sure what I think about the platinums being hidden. I guess the idea is that they reveal like an extra challenge later on, under the assumption that you haven't found any platinums until then. But if you have, it's kind of just annoying if you can't see the platinum times, and you don't know that you can unlock getting to see them.
Ready?
So I have some mixed feelings on the whole platinum thing. I do like the idea of like revealing that, hey, there's more stuff you can do on these old levels now. And I do appreciate that you don't have to regain good times, platinum level times,
Go!
if you've already gotten them before. You already have platinum stuff on your save file if you've gone platinum times before. By the time that you unlock the ability to see platinum times. But what that led me to believe is that there isn't anything to unlock in that sense. Darn! Turning the camera is really tough. It's that the game just hides them from you for no apparent reason. In hindsight, I get it, but in the moment, it's not the best experience. I also do wish you had a little bit more in the way of customization of the balls. Aside from wishing you could have some slightly different stats, and maybe unlocking some stuff for them too, in terms of appearance. That was me just rushing. I wish that, for instance, I could change both colors instead of one on them. That's the main thing that bugs me. I don't know why we can't do that. I realized, of course, when this game started, you couldn't even change its appearance at all. I'm glad that you can do that now. It's a silly little simple cosmetic thing that I think a lot of people appreciate. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't in the base game. Ah, man. The last bit is rough. Maybe I should try to turn on the camera while I'm still on the platform, the moving platform lift. It's just that this lift is also really, really small and inclined. There we go. Oh, it is hard to get the camera aligned there though, for that last bit. It's a little long, that last straightaway. It's one of those places where if you had the camera aligned and you had the keyboard instead of the controller, it would be a real... I don't even need to use I forgot, I don't need to use the keyboard for things. I can just use my my D-pad. But if you have the camera aligned first and you do that, then it's not so bad. Come on. Inclines are the toughest thing in this game. I still have some complaints about how many levels are cycle-based as far as getting the times goes. How that kind of results in having to wait longer and longer when you're trying to redo them. So you're having a hard time on a middle part because it feels like it wastes a little bit of your time getting there. It is really nice to me that, and these levels are shorter, but I really appreciate that Marble Saga had, and Marble Mania, both the Kotorito games had buttons. I don't think they had buttons, but they had, did they? Of some sort? I'm not sure. But they'd have, ooh. This is interesting. But they did have... Oh, that's rough. Checkpoints. Of course, they had much longer levels, though. They just had a different approach to things than the short levels that this game has. And yet, this game has bigger levels, which is interesting. I do appreciate they have much bigger levels where you can have, like, where you can start gaining a lot of speed and things like that. That was one of the things I missed in the Kotorito games, the ability to, like, really spend some time really getting a lot of speed for something or another. This is interesting. It's kind of a Frogger type of thing, kind of an inverse Frogger, I guess. Surprised that there are collisions on the track here. This game doesn't seem to ever have anything visible that doesn't have collisions, which is kind of nice because it's honest, but also, that's stuck on there. Is the reason to be on there? I guess I can cycle things a bit faster. Nice, I'll have to waste some time getting the platform to move closer to the goal again afterwards. Yeah, because then yeah, it's still the same cycle, I think, because I need to move this over here first. Ah, close, whatever. No platinum. Yeah, if I wanted to, if I got to see more Puerto Rico, the one thing I would want to see, I think, would be, ooh, that froze for a second there, bigger stages. This game is not crashing me, I appreciate the stability. That's not always the case. Some games don't have that nowadays. I don't know if there was ever a time where, like, you had a really strong guarantee their game would not crash if you tried to run it, honestly. I think that's really a new problem, but still. Like, stability is a nice thing. It's something that I guess you can't necessarily take for granted. I do like, I say that this game is going to challenge you and things like that. I think part of what I mean is that it will it'll let you challenge yourself just about as much as you want to. In the sense that, for platinums, for instance, I said a few times, there's really nothing that's off limits as far as I can tell for those. It seems like you can really... Oh! The last part there. It seems like nothing is off limits in terms of how you get a good time for a platinum. Like, you can exploit whatever. If you can skip something in the level or use some kind of geometry or something, mostly within reason, I think. Aside from like really awkward bounces off of things or whatever, or like bugging out the game by getting shot forwards by something. Usually, I don't know if there are any places where you have to do that by exploiting the physics in a strange way like that. It seems like generally, I don't like to get good time on here. It doesn't feel any easier either if I don't go for good time anyways. Maybe I don't try and one cycle this. If you want to hold yourself to an anything goes standard, then you can, because platinums are pretty good at that, at doing precisely that. And yet, if you want to keep things kind of easy going, you mostly can. There are a few cases where maybe I was just missing something, or maybe levels weren't just in the best order or something, I don't know, but there were a few cases where it felt like one level was way harder than the levels around it. Gables being the biggest case. Gables, it was ridiculous how much time that took out of me, I think. Oh well. Revolution. I can handle that, I think. Oops. I don't know what the point is of having two sets of platforms that do this, to be honest. Not quite. Although the timing seems not to work out in my favor most of the time, where I'm trying to maybe even just get tossed in the air by it. Something like that is what I want, I think. That seems optimal. Yeah, that's precisely what I'm trying to do right there. Yeah, some of the levels I had a way harder time with than others, which I realize is just kind of something you'd expect in general anyways, but to a degree where, like, I don't know, unless there was something I actually was missing about Gables, I don't know why that level was not way further in the game. I had such a hard time with it.
Ready?
I'm not sure how to approach that second part there. I got the timing down on this one. Something like that, I suppose.
Ready?
Ah,
Go!
whoops.
Ready? Go! Ready? Go!
Oh, we got it.
Go!
And we're almost at the end here. Shriek.
Ready?
Cool.
Go!
Whoops.
Ready? Go!
This might be a little tough here.
Ready?
Yeah, it might be. Not too bad. That last one was really fast rotating. Okay. Whoa.
Ready?
We have more.
Go!
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't skip these because there's a lot of stuff to see. Where am I going? Wrong way.
Ready? Go!
Where do I want to go from here? Seriously. I actually don't know. Do I need to do something like that?
Ready? Go!
I guess I'll just look at the stage. Look at all those buttons. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. And this first block is the easy one. You need to do a wrestling on maneuver
Ready?
twice. Jeez.
Go!
I guess this will just be a really long episode. I don't think that's much of a problem.
Ready?
This is gonna take me a little bit of time to figure out the timing for and whatnot. That's what we need to do. Of course, it's actually slightly different every time. There's this one we have to go moving upwards. Ah! Almost platinum. This aren't still too many cycle-based things, though, I think, for platinums.
Ready? Go!
Okay, it really freaks me out how these move.
Go!
They wobble from side to side instead of anything more consistent. Not looking good.
Ready?
If I could just get out of that thing in time, I would be fine.
Ready?
I feel like if you can
Go!
weave your way between these,
Ready?
not quite, they actually have full coverage. You can't really weave between them without entering the shelters. Oops.
Ready? Go!
Actually, that platform I was on could have done something nice for me. I don't know.
Go! Ready? Go! Ready?
Not quite.
Go!
I mean, I have every last bit of confidence that I can do these last few levels, of course. I've done harder ones. Just a matter of taking a little bit of time to do it. Of course, there is always the chance I'll run into another Gables where I just take forever to complete a level. That was the only level I had that much difficulty completing at all, though. That was kind of weird how much more difficult it was than anything else, which is what I'm talking about with the difficulty being a little odd sometimes.
Ready? Go!
Not often, it was really just the one case of cables, for the most part. The level being way harder than
Ready, go.
everything around it, at least from my perspective.
Ready, go. Ready, go.
We do have this. I got real close to finishing it, maybe twice.
Ready,
I have to wait on that one, looks like. So I can go up on. So it looks like I have to wait. Oops, that was the wrong side to go up on, jeez.
go. Ready,
Why am I... There's something I'm not quite understanding on these later ones for some reason, which is particularly weird because I got over here without much problem earlier. There we go. There, that's all I need to do. And 3 more levels I think to handle.
ready,
Some ramps, we've done ramps before. That
ready, go.
last set of ramps is bugging me though.
Ready,
Yeah, that last jump is gonna be real rough. Everything before that seems fine.
ready, go.
Darn.
Ready, go.
Oh no, I managed to get out of here before without much trouble.
Ready,
How did I do it so well before? It's like it's like my confidence itself is a measure of how well I do.
ready,
So I can just do what I did just now, but actually hit a ramp on the end, on the for the platform I mean to say.
ready,
That should give me most of what I want. And getting up to the top of that platform does... Getting up to the top of the 4th platform to the goal does seem tough, honestly.
ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go.
So otherwise,
Ready,
it's one thing to get to that platform, the goal line, but it's another to actually get on top. I don't even know how to... I feel like if I can get on top of each of these...
ready, go.
One problem is I can't even get on top of any of these pyramids, any of these cones. Can't get on top of this one quite. I seem to have worse luck with this one for some reason. And if I can't get on those, I probably can't get up on this one either. Of course I say that. The physics of moving up slopes in this game seems awkward for some reason. Oh my god. It really does cause me some issues for some reason. And that's why I had trouble with cables, I think.
Ready,
Part of it, of course, being the whole diagonal movement thing that is responsible for a lot of the issue of it seeming like you can sometimes get up a slope and sometimes not, or sometimes you go a lot faster up a slope than other times. Well,
ready,
that was really smooth until I fell off. Ah, it's the transition that's rough. Also, that one might move more violently, I'm not sure.
ready, go.
It is a little unfortunate we're not going to complete this game by completing its true final level.
Ready,
Instead we're doing some other difficult level instead, but I don't think that's too... Jeez, that's really hard to stay on.
ready, go.
It's really hard to stay still. And usually when you bounce off the thing, it's at an angle, so it bounces you in whatever direction direction seems not to be where you need to go.
Ready?
Oops, controller, don't do that. No anti-gravity allowed. Yeah, it's usually the triangle button that has issues, but sometimes the... Darn, the square gets affected too. Not as much though. On this old controller. Oh man.
Ready? Go!
This is it is kind of funny though how the premise of this game is something so simple and benign, and then yet it has this really crazy stuff going on in it. In terms of the adventures you go on with this Paperball and the settings and whatnot. And like the void. I'm curious what this looks like from the perspective of someone who sees the project in universe. There's also no conclusion to the plot as far as I'm aware. Unless the reward is the conclusion to the plot, if you get all platinums. I have my doubts about that though. Ah! At the very least, the plot makes a bit more sense. At least the plot actually integrates the whole, like, rolling a ball around thing. Unlike, Marvel Saga. Marvel Saga is... I love how Marvel Saga has no justification whatsoever for its gameplay from its story. There's no connection between the gameplay and story in that game, which is really uncanny. But almost fine to me in a weird way. I once described the premise of the game to someone. They said it sounded more like an RPG in terms of gameplay, if that's what the story was going to be. I said, nope, it's a rolling ball game. They were a little surprised. Man, this would be curious what platinum would be like here. I guess you have to be bounced around just right by the rings. I do have a tendency lately to bounce towards the goal, which is good, I guess. It's a good place to be balanced. I don't go in the goal. Just come into proximity with it. Ah, man. It's starting to growl. I have spent a lot of time playing this. This is one of those games where I have a pretty strong tendency to spend a bit more time playing it than I intend to. Which, I mean, is a good thing in some senses sometimes, but also it tends to lead to me losing a lot of... This is interesting. What? It tends to lead to me losing a lot of time. You can't go backwards either. This is a wall in front of it. That's amazing. I love the premise here. This is probably one of my favorite ideas for a stage. You have to chase the goal. That's awesome. In fact, I'm pretty okay with this being the final stage we do, because it's such a cool idea. This is something that where diagonal movement helps. Ah! I kind of want to complete a whole lap just to see what it entails. Looks like it's kind of repetitive though, actually. Let's just say it looks like it's mostly the same obstacles repeated. So I don't think I'm missing anything by being fast. Not really. You can get it pretty quick there. Which is precisely what Platinum suggests that you do, it looks like.
Ready, go!
We're getting close here though. Darn. I'm tempted to try to ride the outside for that section with the holes. The section. Oh no, if you can get in front of it, then you can just let it go through you. I guess you have two options. terms of how to go through the goal. I caught up to it there. Oops.
Ready?
Turning is hard.
Go!
Of course, I'm going diagonal here to try to be optimal here. Because this is actually about moving quickly, so it makes sense.
Ready?
I need to
Go!
move it kind of. I need to attack the edge with a bit more of with a steeper angle than I've been doing it with. Though you want to actually darn ride the wall of the gap, which is tough if you're already in a turn. There we go. Oh man, really platform too. Alright,
Congratulations!
so that's all the game,
You cleared
except
all
for
5 stages. Total success!
platinum, whatever. I think I got fewer deaths. Oh, well, yeah, of course I got fewer deaths because I cheated through the first 50 levels, whatever. Fewer deaths than I went through expert, legitimately. Okay, but yeah, so we saw basically all there is to see in the game, except for the platinum goal, or platinum whatever it is, the platinum reward for getting all platinums everywhere. I'll show the credits too, as I like to go into the game. So I forgot the name. Textures.com. Is Textures.com like some public domain stuff or something? I'm not sure. That was one person that put a lot into this. I know. Oh, I forgot the name. Klax. Klax is a pretty small team. It sounds like. I've looked at their website, and it's kind of cool to see how that leads to a game happening with one person doing a lot of stuff. Some Creative Commons stuff too. I guess public domain is probably not what things like that should be. Probably like public domain. Jeez, probably Creative Commons. So Klax, this isn't the main thing that Klax is working on though. The name Klax comes from, maybe their logo too comes from something else they're working on, which I don't have any knowledge about actually. It's interesting seeing such brief credits on something. But that's that, I guess. So I didn't quite get to show overcoming all the obstacles in this game. I didn't get to show all the rewards, but I got close to showing everything there is in this game, so I think it's worth it. I need to figure out sometimes the right ratio of like time spent on something to seeing all the stuff in that game, and I think I figured out the right one here. I'm really glad I got to see those last levels here through Blitz and through anti-gravity. Look at that, 145 stages to play through, and that's in addition to what, 10 more I think for the metal mode in Void. And those are probably all the stages, so I guess 155 stages or something like that in the game. Something like that. I don't remember how many stages are advertised on Steam. It was a lot. I think it might have only been like over 100 or something, I don't quite remember. Or over 150, I don't quite remember. Trying to figure out if if maybe you get extra stages for getting up platinum. I don't know. I might have to see if I can look it up and find out or something. It would be an interesting thing to know, to sate my own curiosity. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching, thanks everyone for following. It was, this is one of those things that went on a lot longer than expected, but I think it was a fun one and a nice one to stick with for a while. I have no idea what I'll do next. I had some ideas, but we'll try controller. Oh, well. If my controller still works, that might influence what we play next. So, oh well. Regardless. Goodbye, Coco. Thanks for all the fun.
Paperball!
I may or may not play another Marvel game at some point. There's really one more I'm considering playing, but it doesn't have as much flavor as this one, so I don't know. This game, though, I think it gave me what I wanted. It sated my interest for something it's kind of like Code Rimpa. Code Rimpa is still very unique in a lot of ways, including the motion controls and some other stuff, and all the unlockable marbles and things like that. But this game, I think, is one, a good successor to Monkey Ball, and two, it is also nice in its own right, and I think it made the formula move it more towards what I like. Also, have I ever listened to this full track? I might not have. Ooh. Cool music too. Cool atmospheres, cool music, some flavor, a premise I liked, some challenges I enjoyed. Oh, I spent. Does Coco actually have white irises? Anyways. not without its flaws, but also still really fun. Not having to, it gave me what I wanted. You know, what I wanted was something that was basically just more of another game. So, I realize I judge this game by standards that are not quite the right standards to judge it by, but I enjoyed it anyways, so I guess it all worked out. Regardless, bye everyone.